So Blackburn Rovers took on Preston North End this weekend at Ewood Park, and we were hoping to get our first win in over 20 years at our place, but unfortunately the wait goes on. That's right, folks, back once again with another match review. This time picking apart Blackburn Rovers shambles, weekend shambles, up against their nearest and dearest Preston North End. And we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, where the heck have you been, boys? Smash your subscribe and get your bang of good things. Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, World Football related. And we're not live. We are not live because I can't bear it. Can't bear the fact that another shit show performance by Blackburn Rovers leaves us empty-handed and leaving us where we've been for the past umpteen seasons, looking at mid-table obscurity once again. Goodness gracious me, we'll talk about that in a minute. I want a big shout out to the Patreons. You know who you are, the VIP band of brothers supporting the channel behind the scenes in very, very bizarro times. We find ourselves right here right now. But anyway, let's jump in the deep end. Of course, I want to get this sucker on the road and get it done, and of course move on to the next one, which will be Barnsley. We'll take a look at that in a minute. In fact, we'll take a look at that probably tomorrow. But until then, let's go in the deep end and have a little look, shall we? Here we go, boys and girls. Here we bloody go. 2-1 win, final score in the end, going in favour of Preston. They won the first goal of the day, coming, of course, from one of our old muckers. It was, Greg Cunningham, get in the back of the net. It was a Bobby Dazzler goal as well. Fair play to him. But to be honest with you, why was he so wide open? Why? Well, we'll tell you about that why in just a minute. But it was clear, beautiful diagonal ball, laps up to Greg Cunningham. He had good crisp shot of it, and that's what you want from your left backs. That's what you want. You want a little bit of extra attacking threat, and you put it in the back of the net on the 19th minute. To put them in front, and to be fair, they were the better side at this stage. In fact, they were probably much the better side throughout the whole match, even though the stats do paint a different picture. Then a little bit later on, but just before half-time, Liam Lindsay doubled their lead with a bit, I think it was a corner or a free kick. It was very, very scrappy. It ended up on Liam Lindsay's on his plate, and he puts it in the back of the net. Bit scruffy, but hey, they all count in the end. 2-0 lead Preston had on us just before the break, but unfortunately for us, we made it a little bit interesting. It could have been a very, very completely different scoreline if we were a little bit lucky with, of course, a free penalty. Gallagher was brought down, maybe a little bit lucky with that, but Adam Armstrong doesn't miss those, and he gave us belief that we could get back into this. 2-1 final was the score at half-time. But ultimately, that was the final goal, even though Rovers did have the ball in the back of the net. I think it was, again, it might have been a corner, actually. Ended up on the feet of Bradley Dack, who put it in the back of the net. And I thought it was goal. I thought it was goal-bound. But unfortunately, no bueno. We'll take a look at the stats in a minute. Let's take a little look furthermore. If I can have where's my mouse on? Where's my bloody mouse? Let's get into the next one, of course. These are the formations, and that's the tail of the tape right there. 3 at the back, Preston North End. I've seen it before, and I ain't no coach. I am not a coach. I'm not a scout. I'm not an analyst. I'm nothing. I'm just a fan watching Blackburn Rovers. And when we see a team's coming up with 3 at the back, guess what? We struggle. We struggle to break them down. We got overpowered in midfield. And then if you were to look at, and I've spoke to in the past, maybe last season, I think I spoke with Ben HD, of course, big YouTuber, Championship speciality. He knows his Preston, and I asked him back then, not this season, last season. I said, give me your player for player, like sort of combined 11. I think the guy that got in there was Bradley Dack, so he was very one-sided with that, with 10 Preston guys and just one Rover. You know, when I look at this team compared to this team, if we were to make a combined 11 with these personnel, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, you know what, I'm struggling for Preston guys here. I really am. If you were to have your cherry pick on this, Everson, Kaminsky gets it, no questions. Maybe at the back you've got Douglas over Cunningham. That's a tight one, really. On if you go for historical records, you'd probably go with Douglas. Cunningham's a good left back, and we know about him. And then Brathwaite, Lenihan over Lindsay, Story, Hughes. I don't know about that. I think Lenihan gets in that team. You might take him over Brathwaite. Brathwaite, of course, does lack the experience. Nyambe at right back over Brown. I don't know if that's Brown's speciality, but Nyambe, I think, is one of the better of right backs in the country. Travis should get in there, maybe alongside Ledson, you would say. And then moving forward, Armstrong goes in, no questions asked. Dak should get in there, no questions asked. Rothwell probably gets in there. Gallagher gets in there. You know what? It will be heavily one-sided in favour of Blackburn Rovers if you were to go man on man. But guess what? When we're playing up against three at the back, we can't seem to break them down. I don't know what they're giving us here with the 4-2-3-1. That's the bag of shit. It was more like a 4-3-3, which we've tried and trusted, of course. But yeah, we got found out. Let's take a look at some of the stats here. 15 shots for Rovers. Did not feel like it at all. 9 for Preston, of course, there. I'm trying to see behind my microphone here. 64.3% possession for Rovers. 35.7% for Preston. Pass success rate, 71% for Rovers. 50 for Preston. They had more aerial duels won. We had more corners, but we didn't deliver from them. Let's take a look at those starting lineups in a bit more clarity here. Kaminsky between the sticks. Douglas left back. Branthwaite, Lenihan, Nyambe. In all fairness, that's probably our strongest back four. It did not feel like it today. For the first time in I don't know how long, I felt like Nyambe wasn't even there. I felt like he was a passenger, he was a spectator. That's the word I was looking for. It felt like he was, I don't know, he was being gobbled up, he was being pressed, he was kind of pigeonholed out of action. We did not see any sort of attacking nous from him today. I'm not saying it's his fault, but he was starved of the possession. And when, of course, we needed him, Greg Cunningham was there and he put the ball in the back of the net. So I don't know where he went on that one. Then, of course, the three-man midfield. I just don't think it's going to work out this way. I don't think it's going to work out. If we are going to rebuild or save this season, we have to be cutthroat with our formation. We're going to be cutthroat with our starting lineups. You're going to hurt somebody, and you're going to hurt, probably hurt a bunch of people. And you know what? There might be times and situations where you've got to drop your baby favourites. You know, everyone's got their favourites. We're going to piss off some people, but guess what? I saw people smiling and laughing and joking out there today, and I don't appreciate it. You're there playing for the badge, you're playing for your season, saving it against the bitter rivals as well. You don't go laughing and joking, smiling and smirking, especially when you lose. And if you're winning fair dues, maybe have a little joke or a smile, or even if you're level, have a wee bit of a smile then and that. But to be honest with you, you're dragging us down. We come in here with a bit of belief that we are going to be striving up towards that the top six in this season. We have all the ingredients right here. But unfortunately, they're just not working out. I don't know why it is. But go be bold, Mowbray. Be bold. You should be pressing. You should be working on set pieces. They're a bag of shit. You should be working on formations. Yes, we know that you've got your 4-2-3-1. You've got your 4-3-3. To be honest with you, that's all I know of. That's all I know. That's all I know from the Mowbray era. I review and have a little look at formations for Luton, formations for Stoke. They mix it up. 4 at the back, 3 at the back. I'm sure Preston knew all week long you're going to go with a 4-3-3. No question. There's no surprise. There's no surprise factor. There's no let's chuck 3 at the back today. No one's going to suspect that because we don't bloody do it. We stick with 4 at the back. I'm not saying that's the answer, but have a bit of variety. Variety, as they say, baby, is the spice of life. And you're not having a bit of variety. You're sticking with your tried and trusted 4-3-3. And it worked up until October, until we got found out. And now, guess what? We haven't played a decent match since November 24th. That's 3 months away, wasn't it? December, January, winter, February now. 3 months of shit football we've seen. Yes, we may have won a couple of games, but to be honest with you, they were not deserved. We did not deserve to win those games against Barnsley, against Millwall, against Birmingham, against, who was it the other week? Middlesbrough. Shit performances, a couple of little lucky breaks. And that's how we got the 3 points. None of this fancy football that you promised at the start of the season, that's drifted away. It's been gobbled up because we've been found out or whatever. You've got no second trick up your arse. You need to have another little one. You need to revisit this. Try maybe 3 at the back, 5 at the back, whatever it is. You've got all the ingredients now. You can't add to it. You're stuck with what you got. Surprise me, Mowbray. Surprise me up against the high-flying Barnsley, who will, on this performance, rip us a new one. That's right. Anyway, let's take a look at my match ratings for this game. They're not good. Kaminsky with a 5, of course. Douglas with a 5. Branthwaite and Lenihan, give him a 6. And Nyambe, he doesn't usually get below a 7, and he's got 5. And I think for the past couple of games, I've realised, I've got to be brutal. And he was shit today. Travis also, he did a lot of running around. Rothwell was a ghost. Davenport was sometimes a nuisance. Armstrong with a 5, Dak with a 5, and Gallagher with a 5. And I'm being kind. I'm being kind. Gallagher, you're a striker, mate. We paid £5 million for you. And whenever you get the ball, I used to have the belief that you would do something with it. I had the belief that you put the ball in the back of the net more than a blue moon, a blue bloody moon. Dak, I know you are a quality player. You are a phenomenal player, but I don't like with the way you're being used, the way you're being optimised. You are the star. You are the heartbeat of Blackburn Rovers, and you're getting put in a position, playing in a position which, to be honest with you, I don't like it. I hope that you don't like it, and I hope, in a way, professionally, you can express your opinion to Mowbray and say, you know what, Gabba, I think I should be playing in a 4-2-3-1 or a 5-2, whatever, in a formation pretty similar to this, guys. A 3-4-3 in a way, with Johnson, being further down here as a heartbeat between two guys up front. You could do this, Mowbray. You could do this. You could have Armstrong on here. You could have little and large. We could call them little and large. Forget the SOS. You could have little and large. You could have Gallagher, gangly, of course, and then you got Armstrong, rapido. You've got Gallagher that can hold up the ball just like the good old days with DG, of course. And then you got Bradley Dack feeding off scraps, mate. Feeding off scraps. Yes, you'd have to sacrifice somebody. You would have to sacrifice maybe Elliott, maybe Dolan. I don't know. You already sacrificed Dolan anyway. Maybe, and then you go 3 at the back here. You've got your Royals, Royce, Harwood, Bellis, or whatever. You've got Branthwaite. You can play left centre back here, and you've got Lennon, heartbeat right there. And then you could go Travis in the middle. Then you would have to have somebody like a Downing, so I could pull the strings a little bit, not too defensive, to help out. You could Bradley Johnson, if he's fit and ready to go, down the left-hand side. You got Douglas, and I think you'd be bang on for that spot. On the right side, you could have Nyambe, or you could have Elliott to do that thing that Brown did perfectly, and then you would have a nice little formation. Do it, Mowbray. Surprise me. Supply me this big time on Wednesday night. Here's some stats and figures there for you. We had 681 touches compared to their 465. We had 461 passes to their 260. And we peppered them. We did pepper them, but we peppered them at the death. Kaminsky, though, what a nightmare. He is going to send me to an early grave, the way he decides to do some ball juggling and things like that. But absolutely miserable. 9 shots for Armstrong. Is that right? That's quite bad when you have that many chances and you can't put. You have one in the back of the net from a penalty, but that is a poor return from a guy supposedly competing for the big one at the top of the table. Anywho, that's just a little bit of what I've had to say. What about the gaffer? Tony Mowbray has been vocal. Here he is after the match. Was he talking to Sky or was he talking to my guys out the Rovers? But anyway, here he comes.
Listen, it's hugely disappointing, hugely frustrating. I'm at a loss to explain the first half performance, really. You see the dressing room before the game, they're fully aware it's a big derby game and we're all got to be at it, and they're driving each other on and they're all ready for the match, and we turn out a performance like that, really. I just think we didn't play forward enough. We've talked about how we have to play, what our strengths are. Trying to take a lot of short goal kicks, as I keep saying to them. This moment, the best way forward for us is to get the ball forward, to push into the opposition half. Like we finished the game, the last half hour, I thought I could identify with the team, I could see what we were all about. We were on the front foot, we were asking questions, we were putting the ball in the box, we were winning second balls, we were, we had some intent, really, and where that was for the first 45 minutes, I'm not sure. So you go 1 down in most football matches, you're not going to win it. And yet I think we had a go second half. I think I felt pretty confident we were going to, get the second goal, but for whatever reason it wasn't to be. So, frustrating, disappointing. That's we're not the only team in this league who are inconsistent, who can win some games on the bounce and then lose some games on the bounce. It's not nice playing a derby game in a totally empty stadium with your voice echoing around. You'd prefer to have a full stadium bouncing and the fans driving the team on, really, to because of the expectation from everybody who supports this club. The players would feel that from the intensity from the terraces. No, listen, every manager, you talk to any manager, the inconsistencies there. Liverpool, who were the best team in the world a year or so ago, went 7 games without a win, I think. So, inconsistency, it's football of today at this moment. Yeah. Listen, what do you want me to say? The team, we can be very good, or we can, like the first half today, we've had spells like that through this season. You don't know when they're coming, you don't see them coming. That's why I made changes at half time. It was, it was unacceptable the first half really, but there you go. We didn't get the job done at the end, and we have to take it and move on to the next one. He played against 8-9 men behind the ball. I think Preston, when they get their noses in front, aren't bad. They're a transition team and they could break away and score again, and they put a lot of men behind the ball. They seem to take an edge over every corner and free kick and throw in and foul, and people go down and always injured. They manage the game, I think, and they do that pretty well, Preston. So it was difficult to get the momentum going second half, but I thought generally it was a more positive performance second half, more like us. We're trying to get back in the game. If you don't make attacking substitutions, you get questioned why you're not doing that. We've got enough quality on the bench to try and affect the game. And we tried to give ourselves the best chance to try and get a result.
So what about the guys on social media? Well, let's take a little look at it, shall we? Of course, I start with talk of Ewood. I tell you what, it's not nice coming out of this one on a Friday night, though. It's not in the nicest, politest way possible. Can someone explain why we've gone from one of, if not the most entertaining side in the league to, well, what we've seen recently? I can't tell you. Since November, that was it. BRFCS.com said this. I'm sorry, Tony, but this is happening far too often now for it to be unfortunate, unlucky, or whatever. An explanation of the logic of those substitutions would be fascinating. I agree. Chris, you take off. Who did you take off for Harwood Bellis? I don't even know. I really don't know. Moving forward, Chris Martin, always vocal. I like Tony Mowbray and I really want him to succeed and prove his doubts wrong, but the more I watch us play this season, the less faith I have that it's actually going to happen under him. Meanwhile, Mike Delap said this: that is the problem with Friday night football. When you lose, the whole weekend seems like an inexcusable waste of time. 100%. Who else do we have here? We've got Fred Gumpsty. I'm not buying that we are a possession-based team that when we can't string more than 2 passes together. It was hit and hope at the best in what was a tactical comedy fest. Substitutions are random with their incoming player playing anywhere he wants. Abject beyond belief. I agree. Jordan Kingsley said, think that's time to go for Mowbray. Only so many times we can get within touch and distance of the playoffs and completely fall apart. It's a mindset issue and he is unable to sort it out. Adam Satsuki, always there with a comment, a good one as well. Usually pile of garbage. No one had a clue what they were doing or where they were meant to be playing. Our team has no direction, and to top it off, we have one of the worst pitches I've ever witnessed. Pro football being played on, sick of repeated poor performances. Something has to change. Carl Wick said this season's well and truly over, gutted, but once again didn't create enough chances. We created the chances, we just didn't put them in the back of the net. Christopher Thomas said this: I'm a positive as you can get from a Rovers fan, but tonight was alarming start to finish for me. Team selection poor, Elliott should be playing, Dak isn't ready, Brereton for Gallagher, and still decent bench. And as for subs, well, I can't defend any of that. Antics, of course, absolutely no spark whatsoever. Need a manager to actually light a spark in our team. Also, I'll be having words with the groundsman. What an embarrassment that pitch is. I think it's time, Mowbray, unfortunately. Jack Billington says, always back Mowbray when most were against him, but he's fully out of ideas now. That was shocking, and Ayambe will be gone in the summer to West Ham. Who else will he go for? Maybe go to Newcastle? Are they looking for a right back? I don't even know. But don't do it, Nyambe. Whatever you do, that's the worst thing. That's the worst thing you can do. When you know the shit that this club's been through financially, from the Prem to League One, not really, it's a COVID era. Do the right thing. Just sign the contract. I would sign the contract and then ask for a move then, if that's the way you're going to play. Don't leave us shortchanged. We're going to get no money for you. COVID, costing us a left, right and centre. We need all the money they can get. You could easily go for 5, 6, 7 million, I reckon, as a right back. No questions asked. Look at Bogle. Look at bloody Bogle ripping it apart for Sheffield United. You could do that and more. Just don't shortchange us. You came through the academy. David Raya went for a flipping a chump change in the end, 3 million. Got mugged off there. Sell-on clauses, they never work out. Look at Josh King. Don't mug us off, Nyambe. Please don't mug us off. You're worth, in my eyes, I think you're a 10 million right back. No questions asked. And one of the best in the division. I really want to see you not screw us over. Bloody Nora. Lewis Hartley said, bloody embarrassment. Very poor performance yet again. Sick of hearing Mowbray says he wants to play attractive football when it's been shit for weeks. I agree. No plan B yet. Play 3 at the fucking back. Defence looks clueless tonight. It will like Kaminsky where CDM. It's time for go. Tony Mowbray's and he's pegged me on that one. Amanda Amber said, is everything a bad dream at the moment? Tony needs to get some information. It's all too messy. And Simon Fish also said, I'm not sure why fans are getting angry about the manager's demeanour. Some want him to rant and rave along the touchline. Brian Kidd did that. Remind me, well, how did that happen? It was shite. I'll tell you, I can vouch for it. It was shite. This is not the problem. The problem is team selection. Yes, Tony. Formation, tactics, and substitutions. Yeah, brother. That's what it is. Of course, that's that. What about what's going on elsewhere out in the Championship? Well, of course, I forgot to give you the heat maps. If you're a heat map man, here is the heat maps. Take it from what you will. Again, a lot of all the gear, no idea. Look at Preston, skittish to say the least. But guess what? They got the win. Here is what else is going on in the Championship this weekend. Of course, all eyes are on Ewood Park. Literally, all eyes are on it. Then we have a nearly full fixture list, but of course, a couple of games are off. I don't really care, to be honest with you. All I hope for is a Forest win. I need them to win to stop Bournemouth breaking away. Derby, hopefully you can get a result. I don't care about Norwich. I think they're too far gone. Watford, hopefully you throw it under the bus as well. And Barnsley, maybe. I don't know. I just don't know. But this is the table as it stands. As it stands right here, right now, we've actually played the same amount of games as the teams above us, bar Swansea, but they're out of touch right now. Yeah, you know what? It's still 6 points at the moment. If Bournemouth lose, it's as you were. But to be honest with you, the season is shit. Let's zoom in on this sucker right here. We've just lost as many as we've won. That's not the recipe for promotion at all. Look at Stoke. At least they've won more than they've lost. It's a sight for sore eyes. Anyway, what's going on in the future? Of course, we're going to take on Barnsley this Wednesday. It will be live. Oakwell will be doing a watch-along, I believe. I don't know now. I think I'm a jinx. I think I'm a bloody jinx. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the old thumbs up. But if you're new, smash your subscribe. Keep your angry today with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, World Football related. We're going to all here under one roof. Another year in the bank for Preston North End. They remain unbeaten at Ewood Park for 2 decades and a chump of change. We'll talk about them another time, but until then, I'll see you all soon. Be safe. Stay away. Don't go to work on Monday. Just call in sick. I'm out.